Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. Big shout out to all of my members and my subscribers. You guys send me these cases, and I could not do this without you because I don't have the time to do all the research. I'm only one person. I got a very small research crew. They work their butts off to keep this show going, and we can't do this without your support. So I want to give a big shout out to the people who emailed me about this beautiful little girl who needs awareness. This beautiful little girl has been missing for over a year. What really motivated me to cover this story is because she's an exact carbon copy of a case we're currently following with a victim by the name of, Jacqueline Torres. It's that beautiful girl out of Connecticut, New Britain, Connecticut, who's found after being missing for over a year inside of a barrel in the back of an abandoned house. And now her mother, her auntie, and her mother's boyfriend, her stepfather, have all been arrested and charged with murder. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is happening like an epidemic in our communities, and we need to bring awareness to this. When these children go missing, somebody needs to ask a question. And it seems more often than not, nobody's asking questions. And then you have a Melodee Buzzard. Melodee Buzzard, 9 years old, Santa Barbara, California. You know what? Before I even go in, let's go ahead and let the news bring us up to speed. Let's do it.
To the latest on efforts underway to find a missing girl from the Central Coast. Sheriff's detectives turning to the public for help in the search for 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard. Here's what we're learning tonight from investigators and others in the community.
Here in Vandenberg Village, concern is growing over the disappearance of a 9-year-old girl. Neighbors tell me this house behind me is where the mother lives along Mars Avenue. Authorities also tell me that the mother hasn't provided information on where her daughter may be. I'm your community reporter, Crystal Bermudez, and I spoke with family members and residents in the community who all tell me they're just hoping for the girl's safe return.
As a mother, my mom heart absolutely cannot take this. I felt really inclined to step in.
While in the neighborhood late Thursday morning, I ran into Janet Holmes. She tells me she came to the home hoping to speak with Melodee Buzzard's mother, but no one answered the door.
My hope was to make contact with the mother, maybe to be helpful.
A woman appearing to be Melodee's mother, Ashlee Buzzard, returned home in the afternoon but did not speak with us before going inside and shutting the door. When I knocked, there was no answer.
She knocked like the police, but go ahead.
After bringing some bags out to her car and leaving a little later, she returned home again a short time later, still refusing to speak with me. Her car, though, had a large yellow scratch and dent on one of the doors that wasn't there when she first left. Next door, Casey Monreal says her mother thought she saw Melodee fairly recently, but home security footage told a different story.
She thought that when she first said, "Oh, I think I saw her just recently."
But after reviewing the footage, she says that wasn't the case. Casey says CPS and authorities have been at the girl's home for the past few days, with investigators collecting surveillance footage from neighbors in the area. The sheriff's office confirms the last verified contact with Melodee so far was about a year ago.
Our investigation into the...
All right, before she gives us those details, I just want to bring you up to speed, all right? Melodee's father died in a car accident when she was 6 months old. Very soon, this is a little bit different than Jacqueline Torres, because in the Jacqueline Torres case, the paternal side of her family was involved in her life for a very long time. They literally raised her, like literally every single day. All she did was wake up to her grandparents and sometimes her father. All right. Her father was in and out of jail. Her mother was also in and out of jail. And the grandparents had full custody unofficially, not by the courts, but like just full custody unofficially of Jacqueline Torres. Whereas in this case, the father passed away from a car accident very early on in her life. 6 months old, he was gone. He wasn't on this earth anymore. And since then, the mother has isolated the girl from her father's side, all right? So they never developed that bond. They never developed that relationship as opposed to the relationship that was developed by Jacqueline Torres with her paternal side, all right? At some point, the mother removed Melodee from school to, guess what?
Oh my God!
Yet again, homeschool her. To homeschool her. Like I told you guys, I have nothing against homeschooling. I'm not saying that people should not be able to homeschool their kids. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that a lot of times these people are using homeschooling as an excuse to disappear abused young people. That's why all I'm saying is we should have mechanisms where if you are going to homeschool, the government, Child Protective Services, should be able to check on that child every few months. I'm not saying every week. I'm not saying every month. Maybe every 3 to maybe every 6 months, there should be a check-in. You should not just be able to take your child off the grid for nobody ever to hear or see from that child ever again. Why would you want to? If you have good intentions and your only purpose for removing your child from the public school system is because you want to give them a quality education that you believe you could give superior to teachers in school, then you should have nothing to hide. You should not mind a check-in every 3 to 6 months. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, these kids are being disappeared from schools and nobody's asking questions. Let's keep going.
This at-risk missing juvenile, Melodee, began on Tuesday, October 14th, when deputies were notified by a school administrator that they hadn't seen or heard from a student in approximately a year.
A notice sent out by the Lompoc Unified School District Thursday confirmed Melodee was most recently enrolled at Buena Vista Elementary School. The district says staff became concerned after Melodee had not been seen at school recently.
She last attended a homeschooling program approximately 1 year ago.
The girl's relatives say they've been cut off from her for years. Lisbeth Mesa is Melodee's aunt on her father's side. Mesa says the girl's dad died in a crash when Melodee was just about 6 months old.
Look, she's a cutie. She's a little cutie. Infinite possibilities this little girl had. She could have brought us world peace. She could have cured cancer. She could have led this great nation into the next iteration of the American dream. She could have just been a house mom, raised beautiful kids. She could have been a writer. She could have been anything. All of that is gone. Now, I just want to say, they don't know where this little girl is. But I think we all know how this story's going to end. Once again, they don't know where she is. She has not been declared deceased or anything like that. Right now, she is a missing and endangered person. But I think we all know how this story ends. Another tragedy.
Mesa says she found out about her niece's disappearance through Facebook.
We haven't seen her in over 4 years. Due to the mother not allowing the family to see her.
She describes Melodee as being sweet and kind.
She has a beautiful smile. She's very, very friendly, very loving, very welcoming. She loved to be around her family.
The sheriff's office says it's following every lead and needs help from the public, urging anyone with any tip, no matter how small, to come forward.
You just hope that it's not as bad as you think it might be, you know.
If you have any information you feel could help this investigation, I'll have the information on how you can contact authorities on this article on ksby.com. I'll continue following this case and will bring you any new developments as they happen. In Vandenberg Village, Crystal Bermudez.
All right, so the mother has not been arrested right now. She's also not cooperating. Police have gone to the mother and they asked her, "Where's your daughter?" And her response is, "I don't know." Now, there are rumors that on Facebook, the father's ex-girlfriend who was with him before he died, she stated that to her knowledge from her dealings with the mother, way back when the baby was just born and was 6 months old, right before the baby daddy died, her experience is that the mother suffered from mental illness, and it was an ongoing problem during that time. I think that the police know, based off of the mother's cooperation and her answers, which is, I don't know where my daughter is. And she never filed a missing person report. She just wrote her daughter off. Based off of her answers, I know the police have probable cause to arrest her for the bare minimum of child abuse and child neglect. They're not doing that right now because they know they're probably sitting on a homicide, and they want to make sure that they get all the evidence that they could possibly get before they pull that trigger and charge the mom with doing something horrible to Melodee. Let's get you one more. We read the article. We get out of here.
We're learning more about a 9-year-old Lompoc girl who has not been seen for at least a year. The Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help. Word came Tuesday when a school administrator reported Melodee Buzzard missing from school for an extended period of time. Authorities say Melodee was homeschooled. Deputies went to her mother, Ashlee Buzzard's home on the 500 block of Mars Avenue in Vandenberg Village, but Melodee was not there, and no clear explanation was given for her whereabouts. Investigators say there has been no verified sighting of Melodee in nearly a year. The most recent photo of her is about 2 years old. If you have any information about Melodee, contact the Sheriff's Department. You'll find more information at KEYT.com.
All right. Wow, 2 years. She hasn't taken a picture of her daughter in 2 years. Santa Barbara, so here you go. Update Friday, October 17, 2025, 12:05 p.m. What's today? Today's the 17th, so today's the update. Santa Barbara County Sheriff's detectives have confirmed that the missing 9-year-old Lompoc girl, Melodee Buzzard, was seen as recently as August 2025, according to an October 17th press release. The office said it used information supplied by Lompoc Unified School District to determine this timeline. Melodee's mother, Ashlee Buzzard, has been uncooperative, according to the press release. Lompoc, and I'm probably saying that terribly, Unified School District deserves credit for recognizing that something wasn't right, reaching out and continuing to assist with this investigation, said Lieutenant Chris Gottschow from the Criminal Investigations Division. This important update helps narrow a significant gap in the timeline of when she was last known to be seen, and because of that, we're closer to understanding what happened to Melodee. The original story is a 9-year-old Lompoc child, Melodee Buzzard, is at risk and missing. On Tuesday, the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office began investigating Melodee's disappearance after a school administrator reported her prolonged absence, according to a press release. The Sheriff's Office says Melodee was enrolled in a homeschool program as of October 2024. Homeschool program, October 2024. This lady's mentally ill. Who is she homeschooling? Just like that lady in New Britain, Connecticut. I was like, my son's has been on a homeschooling for like the last 3 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who are you homeschooling? No disrespect, but you don't even know how to speak English. So how are you homeschooling? We got to regulate this homeschooling thing, man. It has to be regulated. No disrespect to that lady. She was a very nice lady who basically cared about that beautiful little girl, Jacqueline Torres. But seriously, anybody could just homeschool. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, come on, let's keep going. The Sheriff's Office says deputies visited the home of Melodee's mother, Ashlee Buzzard, on the 500 block of Mars Avenue in Lompoc. They said they did not find the child there, received no clear explanation of where Melodee was, and cannot confirm any recent sightings of her. The last verified contact with Melodee was a year ago, the Sheriff's Office said, and her most recent photo was taken 2 years ago. The Sheriff's Office asked that anyone who may have seen Melodee or had contact with her at any time in the past year come forward, and that even small details are helpful. You can reach detectives at 805-681-4150. You can submit an anonymous tip at 805-681-4171 or at sbsheriff.org. Ladies and gentlemen, we can have hope. I pray that this beautiful baby girl is with somebody safe. I pray. But if that's not the case, I pray for justice. It's another tragedy, another forgotten child. This time the school did call. It took them a year to call, but this time the school did call. The school did their job. We're here seeking justice, seeking to find Melodee because the school made a phone call. We need to all start making phone calls. It doesn't matter if you're close to somebody or not. make a phone call. You don't see that young person anymore, make the phone call. Maybe the cops will get back to you and say, hey, that 16-year-old report that you reported is no longer at the house across the street. Yeah, we found out they're in college. And then you could say, sigh of relief, but I did the best I could. I cared. We all need to care more in this culture, in this society, so that we can protect the most vulnerable amongst us. Guys, I'll see you on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.